Hi, I'm Brian Dunn, and welcome to the most important podcast ever, Season 2, Episode 1. What makes it so important? It's not about me, it's about you. This podcast is about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, the moments of resilience, the lessons learned, and the small acts that made a big difference. From retail floors to boardrooms to all 7 continents, we'll share the untold stories that shape lives and careers. I'm super excited about this episode. Our guest is a dear friend of the program. It's Karen Hohertz-Jacobs from episode 7, who promised she'd come back after she completed something that I'm absolutely in awe of. Hi, Karen.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for coming back. When last we spoke, this will be episode 1 of season 2. So this is like the 45th episode. So that means 38 episodes ago, you and I spoke.
Crazy. You're doing great.
And see that? Real-time math.
Yeah, I love it.
Somewhere Darren Jackson is smiling. I would love it if you could talk to us a little bit about some of the big things that you've recently accomplished.
Sure. So I think last time we talked, I was getting ready to go to Australia.
You sure were.
To run in Sydney. And that was to keep my marathon major streak alive. So there's a series of marathons that are called the majors. It's kind of a competitive circuit. I'm not a competitive runner. I'm not even a super fast runner at all. But I've run, my first goal ever in running was to run all the major marathons, which is a little backwards to the way most runners do it. But it was just kind of how I started. And I finished all the majors, which earned me what they at the time were calling a 6-star medal. I actually brought it so I could show it to you.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it's this thing. So there's a little circle for each race you run. All the majors at the time were Boston, at least domestically, Boston, New York, and Chicago. And that's how I started running Chicago and then New York. And then I ran Boston for charity because I'm not fast enough to qualify yet. I someday want to be, but not yet. And then internationally, it's Berlin, London, and Tokyo. And I love to travel. And so I was like, oh, if I could do these 3 internationally, I can earn this cool medal. And that was my whole goal, was just to run these races. And that was my dream for a while. It took me quite a while to get that. And once I did, I was happy, but they've started adding additional races to the major circuit now. So they just added Australia. So I feel like I have to keep that streak alive. So I just finished Australia. In 2027, I believe they are going to add Cape Town. So I signed up to do the Cape Town race this May. And then supposedly Shanghai is coming. So I've never been to China, and my plan is to keep that major streak alive, and so I get to travel more.
That's fantastic. And I've been to China a number of times, so I can certainly provide a tip or two if you'd like when the time
I will
comes.
totally be texting you.
Good. I got to hear about Australia because I too love to travel. And Australia's on my list. I've got to get there.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there. And I'd love to hear about it. And I just want to remind our listeners, Karen told us on episode 7 that as she was growing up, she was informed by an ill-informed coach that she was never going to be a runner. And now she's just completed 7 continents. How many marathons have you run, Karen?
My one that I ran last weekend was my 103rd.
Okay. 103 marathons. How many American women have done what you've done, do you think?
There are, I know there are less than 50. I think there's probably around 25 that have done, like, the big 3 things to do, like, initially are like the Abbott medal I showed you, the 7 continents, that was the Antarctica, and then the 50 states. So like if you do those 3, you're in probably less than 50 people in the, at least women for sure, in the United States.
I just wanted to say that so our audience understands the scope of what you've done, what you've completed. I mean, it's just amazing. And I have so much admiration for you. And I dying to hear about Australia.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliments, but I'll tell you this, running is exploding in popularity. It has been for well over a decade now. And especially for women, and hopefully pretty soon more minorities participating. I'm starting to see more. And I don't think I'll be in an exclusive club for long. I think a lot more people are seeking to do these things, not only for health, physical health, but mental health. And so I'm excited to be one of the first, but I'm sure I'm not the only. And I can tell you, Brian, I have now dozens of friends in the running community that have done things like 10x what I've done. I mean, I know a man that's run, a couple men that have run over 2,000 marathons. I know women that have run more than 1,000 marathons. I mean, these are friends of mine now. And they are just incredible people.
And I bet it's a very encouraging community.
Oh, yes. The running community in general is encouraging. Runners are very supportive of each other. It is a great place to find friends. If you're lonely, join a running club. You don't have to run fast. You don't have to run far. They exist in every city and every place. People are very encouraging. I'll tell you this, I tripped and fell in the London Marathon. I was running with the 4:30 pace group. And there were a bunch of people running in that group that had never run a 4-hour, 30-minute marathon. Myself at the time, I had never done that. So we were all excited. We were at mile 22, and I'm not a very graceful human being. I somehow tripped and fell at mile 22. I didn't know it at the time, but I badly sprained my ankle. And 4 runners in that pace group stopped running the race to help me up. So they sacrificed their goal of running 4:30 to help me up. That is a common occurrence in running marathons and running in general. People stopping to help each other, sacrifice their goals, their outcomes to do that. You see it sometimes in the news, where something will happen and somebody will help a finisher over the finish line. And it's happened to me personally, so I know it's very common.
I think that's extraordinary. And I think it speaks very well to our human nature, doesn't it?
Yes.
It really does. So can you tell us about Australia?
Sure.
When do you get there? Just tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we actually extended. I was going to go to run the race. That would have taken me maybe a 5-day journey. Get down there, get comfortable, get a good night's sleep, eat well, run the race, come home. But we extended it because we wanted to see a little bit more of the continent. I had been down there with my husband right before we got married and had kids because we wanted it to be the last big adventure before we had kids. So that was late 90s. So, it was not a strong memory. I remembered it, but just not clearly. And we wanted to take our 2 college-age kids. So we ended up we flew into Sydney, and Sydney is an amazing city. It's a big cosmopolitan city, and it's right on the water. It's got several areas carved out keys. They call them keys, Q-U-A-Y. It's a key. And there's restaurants and shops and just places to sit out under a patio in almost any season and enjoy cocktails, a beverage, snacks, appies, whatever, and good food, fresh seafood, just super, super great spirit. People are so nice and welcoming to Americans and other nationalities. They're a very diverse city, a lot of different skin colors everywhere, people welcoming to each other. I just loved it. It's vibrant. There's many things to do. We got to see a show at the Opera House, the beautiful Opera House. Walking in that place, just gorgeous. We went to the Outback.
That's the famous picture.
Yeah, the
people see right on the harbor, right?
Yeah, the man that designed that building actually also designed the St. Louis Arch. Saarinen, His name's Saarinen. And so that's kind of special to me too, because I'm originally from St. Louis.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So we climbed the bridge. We did the bridge climb over the harbor bridge. That was fun.
Is this before or after the race?
That was right before the race.
So what day of the week do you get? I'm sorry to be such a fanboy, but
yeah,
I gotta
we actually
ask.
Came in a week earlier than the race.
Okay.
Actually, it was more like a week and a half before the race because we wanted to make sure my son Ryan could experience some of the continent, and he had to get back to start his senior year in college. So we went a little early. We did Sydney. We went through the Outback and kind of toured some of the Outback sites. And then we flew out to Cairns, which is right on the east coast of Australia near the Great Barrier Reef, where you can see the Great Barrier Reef, because I wanted to show both my kids the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that. And then we flew back to Sydney, climbed the bridge. And then we had a couple days to kill. So I didn't want to spend too much time in Sydney. I didn't want to spend 10 days there. So Matt, Kate, and I headed over to Fiji for a couple days.
Oh.
I just wanted to see Fiji, which that I could spend a half an hour on that alone. That place is crazy.
It's on my list too.
Beautiful, but like remote, very remote.
Yeah.
We experienced that. I think some people maybe just fly in there, go to a resort, and then go back to the airport and never see like the actual infrastructure and island. Right. And we didn't do that. So it was an adventure, to say the least. So then we went back to Sydney, climbed, that was past the bridge, climbed, kind of went all around, did all the cosmopolitan stuff, toured the Navy ships that were in the harbor, had some amazing food, and then ran the race. And Matt and Kate did the 5K. So that was good. Awesome. We all got to run.
That's great. And so on the day before the race, what do you do?
Oh, I try to walk a bit. I always do my 10,000 steps and eat well and try to get the best night's sleep I can get. And I don't really get nervous before races anymore. But sometimes in a place like Australia, I think, I don't want to mess this up because it's expensive to come back, and I start thinking like that. Yeah. So it's not exactly nerves. It's more like overthinking and that I don't sleep too well. But I got a decent night's sleep, and you just make sure you have, where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. You have all your supplies laid out. I always pin my bib on my shirt the night before. I set my running shoes out. I put my Garmin watch inside my shoe, so there's no way I can miss it. I check the weather 3 times, like all the typical stuff that runners do. And then I just execute. So,
the Garmin watch, let's talk about that for a second. We're not sponsored by Garmin, but we're open to it, Garmin. So do you like to know exactly where you are on the course in terms of?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a stats nerd. Most runners are stats nerds. I mean, my watch is never like far out of my sight. I have it everywhere. I don't wear it 24/7. Some runners do. I only wear it when I'm running or walking or doing exercise of any kind.
And does it tell you it tells you obviously where you are. It tells you
how far you've gone, your pace, your total time. Important for me is my heart rate, because I run by heart rate more than pace. Because I'm running a high volume of races right now, I'm not running in a way that's conducive to being really fast or becoming faster. So if I want to become faster, I have to run fewer races and really train for speed. There's a specific process to train for speed. You have to do anaerobic conditioning work. Don't have a lot of time for that right now because I've been running a high volume of races. I'm actually seeking between last May and this coming May to run 30 races in a calendar year, which I've never done before.
30 marathons.
Yeah.
Not just 30 races, 30 marathons.
Yeah. And I've never done that in a 12-month period. If you do it in a 12-month period, inside a group that I belong to, which is called the Marathon Maniacs, it's a special level of recognition. So I'm trying to achieve that. I have quite a few more races to finish before, but I'm on pace. It's one of my goals. If I don't do something stupid, I'll hit it.
Do you?
But, pace, heart rate is a really good way for me to run, because that way I know I'm not going to crash out at mile 22 and feel bad. And I finish feeling well. And I can typically run a race now with based on heart rate between, if it's flat and there's no hills and I'm not at altitude, I can probably do about a 4:15, a 4:20, maybe a 4:30 on a bad day. On anything with hills or altitude, or maybe I have an issue that day, not feeling well or whatever, I'm more of a 5-hour marathoner. So I kind of wax and wane between those times.
And was the race, tell us about the race course.
Sydney is hilly. It's hilly and tougher, but it is amazing. So like you start out, and within the first mile, you are on the harbor bridge. So you're literally running over the iconic harbor bridge, and you have the view of the opera house, the ocean, the city. It's just, I literally kind of like teared up. I get emotional in races when I see cool stuff. So I like kind of start to like not exactly bawl or cry, but I get misty and I get the chills.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think about running when I'm in that mode, which is awesome.
You have the sense of the moment. You're
Yeah, oh
doing
yeah,
this
it's amazing.
incredible
And you got
thing.
all these people around you.
Yeah.
You're all trained to do a marathon, you know, like, and it's I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a very special feeling that I love, and it's one of the things that makes me addicted to the sport.
So I have my own. I've been thinking about it a lot since we did the episode, and I
You need to run a
I
marathon. I'm telling you, you could do it. You could do it, Brian.
I have I've recently lost a bunch of weight, and
You
I'm
can do it.
starting. And you inspired me. I'm starting to run a little bit, and
Oh, what fun it is to run.
not hating it, not hating it. I got many miles to go before I rest.
I'm telling you what, you should sign up for the Medtronic. I will run some of those long, long miles with you in the training cycle when you get close. I would.
Okay. All right.
You got to be in the Twin Cities, but or I could come to Alexandria. But like, you need somebody to coach you, coach you along 18 miles, 20-mile runs. I'd be there for you.
Oh my gosh, all right. Now you really got me thinking. But I remember you saying you just got off the couch one day and started taking that first step. And isn't that true for life? Get off the couch. I literally
started with a program called Couch to 5K. Anybody that wants to become a runner and is like, I'm out of shape, I can't do this. If you have a really bad back or screwed up knees, you probably need to talk to a doctor before you do anything, right?
Yep.
But if you don't have a bad back or bad knees, even if you're not, I literally trip and fall everywhere. I'm not a graceful human being. So like you can do it. You can do it. And you can start with Couch to 5K. Like you have to, and this is, the story I told you last time was I didn't believe in myself. And that's half the thing. It's the negative stories you tell yourself really can damage you in many areas of your life. And once I got through that, I started thinking about like, well, if I could do that, what else could I do that I've been telling myself I can't do? Which is how I got to the 100 marathons and how I've run in 50 states. I'm planning to finish my second round of 50 states this coming August too. So, and now I'm like, sure, I've been to every state more than once. It's like,
I got to go back to the bridge.
Oh yeah.
So you're actually able to enjoy the moment where you are.
Oh yeah, for sure, all the time. And that's in my 103 races. The only race I've ever done twice is the New York City Marathon. I try to run different races every time I run races because I really enjoy seeing the unique often 26.2 miles that I'm running.
Yeah.
Which it's part of the treat of the travel and the experience.
So it goes across the legendary bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
you go all around the city of Sydney, and you finish in their royal gardens in the park where it's like just right by the Sydney Opera House. You run by the Sydney Opera House to get to the finish line, basically.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And does your body feel the same each race, or is it different?
You definitely have different feelings during the race. I mean, you're running when you run 26.2 miles, you're going to burn through all of your onboard, like the food and the calories that you've consumed, and you start to burn body fat. So it kind of depends on how well you've pre-fueled in the week leading up, how good of sleep. If you're under the weather at all, you'll feel different. And I mean, I'm kind of the person, I'll forge through even if I feel kind of sick the day before. I'll still go to the start line. So I've had races where I haven't felt that great. I've had races where like at mile 20, I'm like, I can't run anymore. And I just walk to the finish line. And there's no shame in walking during a marathon. Like anybody that feels that way, that is, if you cross that finish line, you have gone 26.2 miles, you deserve the medal.
If there's anyone who deserves a walk, it's you.
And I have like zero shame. If I need to, like actually the one I ran last weekend, which was the Hoover Dam Marathon, also very challenging marathon, extremely hilly at 1,500 feet of elevation gain during the race. I decided, I'm walking through every aid station. So every time I came to like a Gatorade station or whatever, I'd take that 30 seconds and walk, let my heart rate come down, and then take back off running. And I felt really good through the whole race. Like actually the course was long, so it's good I did because it was 26.8 miles. It was extra half mile long.
The extra half mile, I think, would be
Yeah, everyone was
feel,
complaining.
yeah, I would too, for sure. So when you feel like a typical marathon, if there's any such thing, you know how your body's going to react at mile 8, 10,
Oh yeah,
20.
typically, yes. Yes. I mean, I know when I have to take fuel. I know that if I don't fuel properly during the race or I haven't done everything right, that I usually will, like, people call it the word bonk. I don't really bonk anymore. I'm kind of smart about that, but I get to a level where my pace slows. And sometimes I'll hit that at mile 15, 16, 20, 22, depending on how I fueled and how I've slept and how I've prepared. And when
I'm
you
good.
kind of slow down, or if you bonk, like I did that one day where I couldn't run past 20 miles, that means you just literally, you have no glycogen, you have nothing to burn, and you have no fuel to propel yourself. And like, it's a mental game at that point. Like, you're like, I just want to sit down. And you have to kind of overcome the mental, like, I got to stop feeling everything in your body screaming, stop, walk, sit down, and you have to like power through mentally through that. And I've had to do that, I'm sure, more than a dozen times in my 103 races, which is also, it's like, that's a great skill to have, is like, if you do that running, you can do that in life too.
Absolutely. It's such a metaphor. I mean, it is
Totally.
such a metaphor. Tell me, what do your legs feel like, your body feel like on a typical Thursday?
Like a day-to-day, a Thursday?
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
do you
yeah. I
wake
mean,
up
I
with,
typically, so here's the thing, is because I run so many marathons now. I mean, so basically since 2020, I've been doing at least one a month. And so, like, I don't really go through a training, like a typical marathon training cycle. Anybody that goes through that 18-week, I'll call it grueling. Like, if you sign up for the Medtronic, you're committing to 18 weeks of hard work, and you kind of got to plan your life around it. You got to do the work to be trained. Jason Brooks.
of course,
Jason Brooks ran the New York City Marathon on zero training.
no
So
way.
yeah, you got to talk to him about it at some point. If he
I
watches
will.
this episode, Jason, you're nuts. But anyway, he told me he couldn't walk for 3 days after. But anyway, like, if you, that training cycle is really, really, really hard. And by running a marathon every 3 or 4 weeks, what I'm really doing is I run a race and then I re-taper. So like in an 18-week training plan, you're training really, really, really hard up to the last 2 weeks. And in that last 2 weeks, you're slowing down and taking it easy. So you are ready to run on that race day. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing the race and then I'm re-tapering down and then I'm doing the race. So I'll never have to go through the training cycle, which is because the training cycle, it's hard. It's really hard.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Well, the first few years when I was running marathons, I was doing one a year and I was like, I got to go through the 18-week training cycle. And then in 2020, I was sitting on a bus and a guy in front of me and was talking to another guy and they were talking about all these races they were doing back to back. And I'm like, how do you guys find time to train? And they turned to me and they're like, what are you talking about, training? And like I was stupid. And I was like, seriously, I'm not joking. How do you do that? They're like, we just go do a race every month. And I'm like, you don't get sore or tired or you don't have to train? And they're like, no. So that's when I signed up for my first one, like a couple weeks apart. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but it works. And even since then, now I've done series of races where I run 6 in 6 days or 3 in 3 days. I've done that multiple times.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You've run 6 marathons in 6 days?
Twice. Mm-hmm.
What does that feel like?
It's actually really fun. So like the group I do it with is a group called Mainly Marathons, and they host, I don't know, something like 12 or 13 series a year. They go to all 50 states, and you do 6 different states in 6 days, and it's a blast because it's the same group of people primarily that you're traveling with to the 6 states. So you make a lot of friends. These are all like-minded people that run a ton of races. Some of the most amazing people you will ever meet do these things, like people that have suffered devastating things in life, that have turned their lives around through running, etc. And just amazing people, like just people that have done like incredible athletic feats. In those races, I've met the man that has run the most marathons in North America. His name's Jim. He's amazing. And the woman that's run the most marathons in North America, her name's Angela. They're always there. So, I mean, like really cool people. But like day 2, you get up and you're like, I'm a little bit tired here. And you go out in the first 4 miles, kind of like, you're like, oh, what am I doing? And after mile 4, at least for me, I loosen up and I'm good. So
Wow.
like after each race, I just make sure I walk a little bit, stretch, and I eat a ton of food, which that's also a benefit of running is I can keep a healthy lifestyle. I can stay the way that I want. And I can pretty much eat ice cream, which is my other hobby, making homemade ice cream. I can eat ice cream and cake and pasta and all the good stuff.
When Karen came up to Alexandria for episode 7, she brought 2 pints of her ice cream. Best ice cream I've ever had.
Oh, thank
Ever.
you.
Ever. That's just amazing to me. So what's the third marathon like? Is it like the same each day?
Once you go through day 2, I mean, yes, you do get progressively more tired, and you're not running any of these races to like, I'm going to set a speed record.
Right.
And you are definitely walking and running and walking and running. And so, I mean, I'll definitely take a 5-hour, 30-minute marathon there and feel really happy. The last series of 6 I did, though, I was running my 100th marathon. It was in Baker, Montana. It was this past fall. And I was like, I'm not taking over 5 hours for my 100th marathon. No way. So like I got out there and I felt pretty good, and it was a flat course. There was a little bit of elevation, but not much. We had been running all over the American West and at 6,000 feet and 4,000 feet. And elevation really gets me. It's one thing that I struggle with. But anyway, that day I was like, I'm going to bust. I'm going to try to finish this fast. And I got like 4:35. I was trying to beat 4:30, but I got 4:35 on the 6th day. So I mean, would I have thought I could do that? No. But again, your head tells you things like you can't do that. It's no way it'll happen. You can go out there if you give it effort, you can do it.
It's mind over matter.
It is. It is. And I think that's part of what coming back is I love to prove my mental state wrong. I mean, it's a thrill for me. I don't know. I can't totally explain it.
It's mind over matter. But I got to tell you, my mind's blown. 6 marathons in 6 days. It's so impressive. I have to ask, and I know we're running short on time here.
Yeah.
Big takeaway from Australia.
Go.
Big takeaway from your many accomplishments. I just want to hear what you think about it.
Honestly, I think it's not the accomplishments, but I love the accomplishments. I love the feeling of that achievement. I just know that this lifestyle, this hobby, I mean, I would consider running a hobby. It is good for me emotionally, mentally, physically. It's part of who I am, right? And finding a hobby that's part of who you are is a super fulfilling thing. It gives me purpose in life. It makes me feel good. And hopefully, I mean, if I can show others that I can move this mountain, maybe they can move that mountain too. Whatever their mountain is, Yeah. And I think that gives me inspiration to keep telling people about what I'm able to accomplish, because maybe that's not what you're seeking to accomplish, but you can do it,
Karen, you're such an inspiration. And I've been privileged to know you and Matt and Kate and see you and your son through all the things you've been through, and here you are continuing to provide this example of strength and dedication and commitment. And you're one of my heroes, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to thank you so much for coming back. And we're going to check in with you next season too. I want to know what you're doing. 6 in 6 days.
I would rather, for the next episode, I'm interviewing you about your first marathon.
Oh, I know. Now this is all on video too. Uh-oh.
Come on, team! Everybody out there, help me cheer help me get him to sign up. We can all be at the all your Best Buy peeps could be at the finish line or along the course cheering you on.
Yeah, that might be mile 2, but we'll see. Hey,
you can do it.
I want to thank you so much, and please give love to your beautiful family from my family, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Okay?
Keep running,
please
Brian.
Stay in touch, Karen.
Take care.
And That's it for this episode of the most important podcast ever. Welcome back to season 2. And I can't think of a better place to start than with our friend Karen. And I have a huge gratitude to her and an even bigger gratitude to all of you for tuning in. If you know somebody that might find this conversation inspirational, and who wouldn't, please share the podcast with them. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time.